Hi everybody, it's Ross Cook of Ross Cook Balancing. I'd like to welcome you tonight. Tonight's going to be awesome. I get to visit with you about one of my favorite two pairs of stories. One's a goofy little joke and one is a story that just fills my heart with wonder. And I'll get to Connor and Caden Long in just a moment. But right now, there's an old story about a bunch of friends. There's three friends in a room, and they've been friends all their life. I mean, these three people have known each other and gone. I mean, they have a life experience. They've been friends, live and die. They've been divorced. These guys have known each other forever. And they kind of pick on each other. So they eventually, one day, it just boils over and they grab chairs and start beating on each other. I mean, literally, like you see in the movies, they're hitting each other with chairs and smashing each other with chairs. And there's one guy standing there, he doesn't know what to do. He's like, these are my friends. Yeah, that was a little over the top. This is very violent. And they're just pounding each other with the chairs. The police are called. They come in and they arrest them all, including the person standing there. And they're hauled before the local magistrate. The judge says to them, look, you guys, I'll deal with you because you're all beaten up. I'm going to sentence you, but you're their friend and you were standing right there and you didn't do anything to stop it. Why? What were you thinking? These are your friends. Why didn't you do anything? And the bystander says, Judge, I didn't know what to do. There weren't any more chairs left. What? Which means if there had been a chair, he'd have been pounding people too. So often in our lives, we get caught just choosing our choices out of a similar basket that everybody else is doing. And believe me, the highest and best of you is not there. The highest and best of you, the beckoning and the call, the abiding love, not just love in opposition, that is love and hate and love and abandon. No, abiding, holistic love comes from an entirely different place. Judge, there weren't any more chairs. Let's not get caught in that kind of choice. All right? Let's not get caught in that choice. Now let's get to Connor and Caden Long. One of my favorite stories. Connor is 2 years older than Caden, Caden being the younger brother. Connor is a triathlete, as is Caden. But Caden has cerebral palsy. And so he can't walk or run. He also has microcephaly, so he's not able to speak. Well, Connor's quite an athlete, and he one day, just playing team sports, looked over and saw his brother sitting on the sideline and said, I'm not going to do this like that. So he decided to become a triathlete. Only he's a different kind of triathlete. When he gets out there and he swims, he tows his brother in a little rubber raft behind him, and he swims. Now he's 10 years old, so it's a smaller triathlon, but it's still an epic event. And he's swimming with his brother being towed behind him. And when he goes to the bike, he has a little trailer that he puts his brother in the trailer and he pedals on the bike. And when it comes to the run, he pushes a cart with his brother in it, so his brother leads him ahead. And people say, well, what are you doing? I mean, how do you win? Well, Connor says, I win because I want to give him the best life he can have. And I can see him smiling, and I want to give my brother, whom I love, the best life he has. They always come in last. That's fine with them, isn't it? They rewrote their own rules outside the world of, there wasn't another chair. They wrote their own rules about love out there. And eventually, as Connor got older, other race event people wanted him to be in the race. He's a strong kid, and they wanted him to compete. And his only question was, as he got to these regional and higher races, they would say, we want you to compete, we'll sponsor you and get you in here. And his only question was, well, can Caden race with me? And they would say no. And he goes, then I'm not doing it. Then I'm not doing it, because he has his own set of defined rules that are outside the other rules, that all stem from love and wanting to give his brother the best opportunity, the most fun, the most time to beat it with them together. That is his set of rules. How often do we get caught in things where there's other people's sets of rules? I invite you to begin to define yourself differently. You do that by journeying within. You do that by reading profound books and then saying, what does that do for me? By defining leaders and heroes and saying, what in that hero is similar to me? And then going silently within and working and seeing what pops up really fast to get in the way. Well, you need to discard those speed programs in order to get to the true nature of yourself within. You know, those kids are competing and running and being together. They have a whole nother level of pure racing, of pure definitions. They've made their own, all based on love. That's what I invite you to do tonight. Just do it slightly differently tonight, tomorrow morning, sometime where there's something similar that just that knee-jerk reaction happens. How about do it in love and do it differently? Remember Connor Long. Remember Caden Long. They're great, great guides for all of us. I'm Ross Cook. You can reach me at Ross Cook Balancing. If you have questions or comments, please leave them below. Thank you for the feedback about the little infinity wire signs. We'll get you one if you want one. Just write it in the comments and we'll get you some stuff. Or you can email me at rosscookbalancing@gmail.com. Anyway, we'll get back together again soon. Until then, I want you to do your world slightly differently and Jomo.